Good evening. Hello, hi, it's me, your best friend. The man who's here to find out who these people are, what these people are, how these people are, why these people are, when these people are. I think that's all the question words. These people are. Hi, it's me, Matt, Cartridge Blowers. Cardi B, how you doing? Hope you're doing great. Hope you're having a great Thursday evening. Hello, disembodied voice. It's me. It's me. It's Cardi B. How are you? Hi, Kamakani. Hi, Herminator. Hi, T-Tree. Hi to anyone else who might be lurking or watching the VOD. We're going to play some Roottrees Are Dead. I've got about an hour before I need to kind of hit the road. And so I'm going to get right into it. Ba, 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 ba. And that's the end of the song. But not. What about this song instead? Yeah. What about some smooth saxophone? Hi, me, God. Yes. I like to think I'm like God sounds like me, you know. Like he made humanity in his image. You're sorry. Oh, don't be. Nah, it's cool. It's cool. I'm actually into it. Extremely into it. You have no idea. All right, so where were we? I think we were actually reading this diary. I think that's where we had left off. We've got lots of clues to look at. You know what I'm about, Connie. I think we were on this one. So if you're just, I don't think anyone new is joining us, so I'm not going to explain what this game is. But if you want to know what this game is, hey, I played this game for like an hour and a half a couple days ago, and yeah, go watch the VOD. I don't know. An entry entitled Dynasty from Lauren Roottrees' diary, written in 1958. It focuses on the day her grandfather Elias announced he would step down. I wish I had been a fly on the wall today. Clancy told me that everyone got quite heated. Granddad was furious none of his sons would take over as president, but that's what he gets for holding on to it for so long. With architects, preachers, and lawyers, nobody's got time for candy. So one of his kids is a preacher, one of his kids is a lawyer, one's an architect. Got it. So with the 5 pieces refusing to step up, it came down to us next gens. So I should really be figuring out who the 5 pieces are. I know one of the 5 pieces is Clancy. And that would be Lauren, right? Which one is a baseball player? I'm a baseball player. I have a signed baseball in my classroom that is signed by me. And kids are like, who is the signature? Because they can't really read it. And I'm like, it's for my favorite baseball player. Pop argued at length that the company should stay with our branch of the family since we still have the Roottree name. I'm not even sure Clancy would have wanted it, but he's the one who was volunteered. So if we go back here, we know that there should be like a Clancy Jr., I think. Yeah, Clancy Jr. is one of these people. He is one of these 3. But he was the one who volunteered. Instead, ended up going to Zach, even though his surname doesn't match the candy. He's the firstborn son of the firstborn 5-piece. Okay, we know. These are the 5 pieces up top, too. And the firstborn son Zach. It's one of these two. Shit. So one of these two over here is Zach. And his last name does not. So it's one of the two Zachs. Zachariah Morden or Zach Wilson. So unknown male, we'll say here. That's the firstborn. And they are president. They would be the third president. Okay. We also know that Miracle Rootree is another one of the 5 pieces. So we can actually add that to our list on our notes. Clancy, blank, Miracle. And then 2 blanks before Clancy, because they have an order. Okay. There we go. Oh, and this is Margolite. So actually we know 3 of them. Margolite, who married Linus Cornwall. So we add that to my note then. Not a baseball player, but I'm so big one of my jackets can be used as a dugout. Kamakana, you're my favorite dugout. I don't know what that means. I asked Clancy if it ever came out that a woman could take over. After all, Angie's older than Zach. Oh, wait. So, this is wrong then. So actually, this should be Angie. Angelica Morden. Okay. So now we're getting somewhere. So we don't know what she does. That means this is Zach. He's probably Zachariah Morden. He's the 3rd president. Which means this is probably a Morden? Probably a James Morden. Oh wait, no. No. Sorry, I'm wrong. I know name. This is James Morden. You should get more compliments, Connie. Which means this is unknown female. And that means the oldest of the 5 pieces is unknown female. Okay. Alright. We've just had some breakthroughs here. Angie's older than Zach, and I'm next oldest of us all. Which should be right, because she should be on the far left here. Yeah. Okay. But he just laughed. I'll never forget the cuss words Pop used when he told Ma it wouldn't go to us. Mother, ever the quick-witted and least with catty remarks, countered back, maybe they wanted to go to the only member of the family who looks like he samples the product. Okay, so Zach is fat. Zachariah Morden is a fat person. I don't know if we have any. Is this Zachariah? I'm gonna... What is this picture? This is the next generation. There are 5 pieces of birth. Our generation are for old time's sake we gather in the warehouse and when Eli stand all the way on the left. So this is yeah, we know Eli. So they're behind in front of us. I think this might be Zach, who is the 3rd president. Okay. That's my guess. An entry entitled Sam from Lauren Rootree's diary written in 1963. From a previous entry, you learned that Elias Rootree had given in to his wife and announced that Sam, an obscure relative, was to be included in family gatherings. Gwyneth had been pushing to include Sam for quite some time. Lauren writes, why Sam? I have many distant relatives who never met. After all, Granny had sisters and Granddad had a brother or 2. but I was told trim their branches from the family tree. So why is Sam special? Nothing adds up. I'm not the only one to realize. Angie summoned all the next-gens to a secret meeting in Zach's office. Gwen's in Paris, but the rest of us, including Miracle's boys. Okay, hold on. So, unknown male. I'm presuming one of these is Miracle Jr. Spent ages trying to unravel the mystery. I didn't understand. I recognize Sam at Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy last year. At the reception, when I asked who Sam was... Okay, so wait. One of these people should be Elias Jr. Patsy. Shit. I don't think we know what... Okay, we don't have enough information there. At the reception... So there's two possible Patsies. When I asked who Sam was, Pop shushed me and said it was complicated. Let's make a note of that, actually. Elias Jr. married to Patsy. Also, now we know this is Elias Jr. Do we know all the 5 pieces now? Or we don't. I don't think we have. Yeah, we don't have the female name here. Okay. Clancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farmhands, EC and John, when he used to drive past the old Anderson farm on his way to work. Upon hearing that, Zach checked the records and managed to confirm all 3 are on the books. Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother. Interesting. Oh, hold on. I'm getting a phone call. Give me one moment. I love you. Talk amongst yourselves. All right, we're back. Where's my camera? There we go. So, where was I in the middle of... We just got the youngest son of Miracle, is a different Eli. Is one of the Eliases. Elias C or Elias M. Shoot. Which means this should be Miracle Jr. It's gotta be. That's just how that works, I think. Just from a junior perspective. Apparently when he was riding his mini bike alongside the farm a few weeks ago, Sam gave him some old tools and taught him how to make the bike's engine faster. None of us think that proper for a multitude of reasons, but Eli certainly seems thrilled. At the end of the day, nothing explains why an outsider has cozied into family affairs, especially one who works on the farm of all places. Whatever happened to blood is thicker than water? Why is Granddad making an exception now? Okay. One of the final entries called Clark. Clark's getting married, and in my opinion, far too young. He's barely 18 for God's sakes, and Danielle isn't much older. Okay, so we know that Clark is her son, and there's a Danielle that he gets married to. Well, that would be his first, so it's got to be Danielle Franks. Okay. But openly confronting them would make me a hypocrite. After all, Jacob and I got married at 16. Clark, like the rest of this generation, is a free spirit. What else do you call a group of kids growing up with more money than any one person can spend? They all aspire to be musicians and artists and dancers and all sorts of nonsense. The only one who has any discipline is Carl. That's because Pop forced Clancy to send him to the academy. And Carl is this one. Maybe I'm just getting old, but our generation was never so bad. My brothers all seemed to pursue passive knowledge. And the most rebellious thing any of us ever did was bring home someone who would be illegal to marry if we lived anywhere south of Pennsylvania. Huh. What does that mean? Pop seems to have gotten over it because Edward is set to take over his apartment once he retires. So one of her brothers is Edward. Okay, so let's see. Lauren's brother, Edward, married someone, someone, quote, illegal to marry south of Pennsylvania. I don't know what that means. As for me, I used to, oh yeah, and it would take over for their father. So we would assume he's a lawyer too. Edward is a lawyer. There we go. Okay. As for me, my first published book, Swashbuckle My Heart, is based on the pirate stories I used to invent with Jacob when we were walking in the woods after school. I think he'd be proud that Clark and I are carrying on his name. Even my cousins are doing well. Zach's not a bad president after all, and his sister seems to be doing a good job raising her twins. Okay. Gwen is Gwen, but at least she came out of the divorce with her head held high. She even told us she might come home next year so we can meet the kids. But the free spirits and any other family, they'd all end up in the streets, even Clark. Got it. Okay. Really not sure what to think about this whole thing. I don't know what that means. We also know that Clark marries at least one of the Diamonds, the LaRues. What is this? Guardian, adoption, or otherwise? Interesting. Interesting. Okay. This is still connected to 16 people. This cover is connected to 1, which means, guess we haven't solidified Lauren. No, we have. Guess there's just another picture of Lauren. She should be in this color photo. I think this is Lauren. I think this is her. Looks like the same face and structure. Okay. All right. Let's see. Why is there something else from this cover that is not or is still useful? I guess because we don't have Clark. She was the granddaughter of Elias and Gwyneth on her father's side, which we've got. We've got the Cossells. Got Carl. We've got Clark. Might be worth it to come back to this at some point, but I think that's where we're at now. Campaign mailer. Vote for Stephanie Jones for City Council. This was buried under a ton of other mail that Carl left in his inbox. Had a handwritten note. The flyer out a candidate for local office, Stephanie Jones. On the back is an excerpt from a newspaper article from the Butler County Times. Stephanie may have grown up in an unconventional family, to say the least, but in her words, it was still full of love. Now, 22 years later, with a baby of her own due around Christmas, her message to voters is simply, love is our future. Carl, I know we don't see eye to eye, but when it comes to the candy company, but if you could talk to your girls about putting out a statement supporting Stephanie, she could use the authenticity, the publicity your daughters bring. Don't let our conflict spread to the next generation. CM. Okay. So there's a CM somewhere in here that would then, I'm assuming, be the father of Stephanie. So this fixture is Stephanie, we can presume. Stephanie Jones. We've also got this. This photo is stuck inside an envelope with a letter beneath the candle. To Carl and Brenda, I'm sorry that you were unable to attend the funeral. It's traditional to have it as soon as possible, and Ernie, more than anyone else on earth, knew how busy your job can be. I've enclosed a Shiva candle identical to ours, and if you'd like to pay your respects. Though it's not expected for those outside of the faith to do so. Ernie was a man full of love, not only for his family, but for his family's legacy. He had an immense amount of pride for the work you three did together, as well as how Carl has carried on for him after taking over. So there's an Ernie somewhere. I'm assuming this is Ernie's wife and daughter. This is not Stephanie Jones, is it? I don't think so. I think Ernie might. So Ernie knows how difficult your job can be. So maybe Ernie is also a president of the company. For how the work you three did together, as well as how Carl is carrying on for him after taking over. Okay. Not much else here yet. Here, so it has a note attached from your employer. Every 20 or so years, the Roottrees would hold a big reunion and recreate an old family photo. This is the one from the 70s, and Carl's a teenager in the middle. Okay, so we know this is Carl. Let's get him real quick. Okay. Sorry about the water damage. A pipe burst in Carl's office. On the back of the photo in childish print writing, it says November. Also, a large number of cursive signatures. They include Bonnie, next president Guy Hudson, Ernie Jr., Carolyn, Gwyneth M., Gwendolyn, Miracle Jr., Jim Roottrees, Clark, Carl, and Eli. So Miracle Jr. is up here. Is there anyone in here that's like that old? So, well, Carl's a teenager. Yeah, I mean, I guess this could be Miracle Jr. That person seems older. I wonder if I have... Eli M is part of this generation. which is Questlove. All of these are Questlove. Hi, Iggy Zig. Hi, Digital. How are y'all today? Hope you're doing well. Lots of stuff here. Okay, let's see. We still haven't. Have we not searched for Jim Roottrees yet? Oh no, it's Jim and Diamond. So we do know a little bit about Jim. I do know that Jim, I think, is a cousin. Let's look for Miracle Jr. I think it's the last notable Roottrees that he has shortened to Miracle Jr. He's a televangelist who is part of the Miracle Network. He used to have a show that aired on local access across many stations. According to a website called Clergy Watch, he was exposed and subsequently charged with conspiracy to defraud the public in '79 when he claimed to heal someone in a wheelchair. A news expose revealed it was his wife Edith's sister in disguise. Also doesn't mention that Edith has a bit of a checkered past herself and doesn't clarify. He goes on tour across the South. So Miracle Jr. is a televangelist. Preacher? Do any of these guys look like preachers? I think Miracle Jr. is in. They all look like Carl's Jr. The Miracle Jr. is one of these. One of these guys is a preacher. Do any of them have like crosses on? Well, this guy is an Eli. So he's one of the Elis. There's a couple of Elis that we don't have pictures of, so we can at least get that soon too. Let's search for Clergy Watch. Oh, man. I want to see Clergy Watch. I want to go to clergywatch.com. Well, let's at least write that in our notes. Miracle Jr. Is the husband of Edith. Wife Edith. Hey, Soraya. Really conservative. I'm concerned for most children in this game, if I'm being honest. Edith Jacobson. Oh, wait, no, that's not it. That's not. Nope, wrong. I'm wrong. This would be Edith. Assuming it, and it's a star, so that's a notable. So wait, so Jim should be, is the only other notable I don't have, and that the stars are here, so that means this is Jim Roottrees. Oh. James Roottrees. And he's a musician. And we know a couple of pictures. We got this picture of him. It's a much cooler picture. And we can assume this is Diamond LaRue. And she's this one. Let's see. All right, so problems is they lock in 3 at a time. I have 3 that I believe. Oh, we don't know what Miracle Senior does. Find a website for the Miracle Network. Well, witness the testimonies of the Miracles Roottrees. Miracle Roottry arrived so late in his mother's life that doctor swore he wouldn't survive his first year. His mother and father, Elias and Gwyneth. Oh. Wait. Okay, so wait. So this is correct. Elias and Gwyneth had Miracle. Okay. Where were we? Let's see. They thought him impossible. He was younger than his brothers and sisters by over 14 years. With a birth that late, the final child of his generation was nearly torn apart by countless health problems, but still with the power of God on his side and anime, he persevered. He triumphed over these complications and even regained his sight to spread the healing word of the Almighty. 23 years later, Miracle Roottry Jr. arrived and became the famous family's second vessel for the higher power. At 18, he unburdened himself from the Roottry name and took his father's testimony to a whole new level. Via the power of television, Miracle Jr. spread the gospel across the entirety of New England. He has since left a life of glamour and glitz behind to reach those places that need it most. The power of the Lord coming to a town near you. Well. So there's Miracle Jr. Here's Miracle the Third with his wife, Nicole. All right. I guess he could be a preacher, yeah. You can try it. Oops, all preachers. Hey, all right, we got something. Breakthrough. James Miracle and Miracle Roottry Jr. Nice guess on the preacher for Miracle Sr. Lots of optional lock-ins, too. Nice. Ooh. That was beautiful. Okay. So that means if we go back to the family photo, that's this guy, for sure. And they only have one son, so this is Miracle the Third. Yeah. So, preacher. And his wife is Nicole. There's two Nicoles here, Madsen and Smith. I feel like have we seen Madsen's? Hold on, wait. I know an easier way to check this. Yeah. Gwyneth Madsen is where? Okay, I don't think we have Gwyneth Madsen. But it stands to reason that since there's a Madsen family and dynasty, this is the other Nicole Smith. Are there others? I mean, there are no other Smiths. The line ends here. Okay. So I think we've got Miracle Roottry the Third locked in as well. Anna Nicole Smith, yes. Too bad about the rest of it. Let's get this other picture of James Roottry. Jimothy. We don't know the rest of this. Okay. Anything else here? Roottry. So, how many clues are connected to a specific piece of evidence? Change. Okay, so we're missing something. One thing left on here. Earl Jr.'s wife, Nicole. On the notable, he's listed on the chart with a star, which we got. In fact, our notables are now all gone. So this entire thing has nothing left for us. Okay. All right. Lots of progress here. Why is Zachariah wrong? Let's go back to where we talk about Zach. So they're trying to... Oh, wait. Maybe he's the second president. Shoot. I think he's the second president. That's my problem. So... Architects, preachers, and lawyers. Nobody's got time for candy. So one of the 5 pieces is an architect. We don't know anything about the other 5 pieces. I guess we could probably figure out Elias's picture here. If we go back to the picture of the 5 pieces. We know that this is Miracle Jr. Or this is Miracle Jr. So this got to be the last one, Elias Jr., right? Let's assume he's an architect. Hey, what? Okay. All right. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Well. Your local investigative jazz radio station. During their news segments at 45 minutes on the hour, they've been talking about the plane crash. During the interviews, revealed that there wasn't a break-in and said someone with the key to the office took the picture after discovering the pipes burst due to the recent storm. It means it was likely someone close to the family who was aware of the photo's history and wanted to save it. The psychologist, however, also goes on to posit the culprit had an alternate agenda, specifically because nobody in the family has come forward to say they have it in their possession. A comment below the article says, "Don't believe their lies. This is just another instance of the Roottrees curse." Okay. There's a long, rambling conspiracy website with very small, very red text on a black background. It says that the Roottrees are cursed. It has been very recently updated with the following. Important. With Carl and Brenda and their girls, that makes 5 new deaths. Not only that, but 3 of the 5 presidents of the Roottrees company have died mysteriously. They say Guy's car was hit by a drunk driver in 82, but nobody was arrested. Then Ernie Madsen Jr. stepped down. Was he poisoned? Okay. So that means we know the other 3 presidents. So, candy presidents are 1, Elias. 2, Zach. 3 is either Guy. It's probably in order. 4, Ernie Madsen Jr. And 5, Carl. Okay. There's another entry that claims that if you connect the dots in a pattern of the 5 pieces wrapper, It creates a Mayan ruby skull, a secret message meant to subliminally scare people away. The post before that has a link to a site that talks about how Earth has a 4-corner simultaneous 4-day time cubes. An entry from a few months ago claims that the owner of the site received an email from Chris Raff75. Chris Raff. Well, the Rafferties are over here. He seems to think, who do you think was poisoned? So Ernie Madsen Jr. is the father of Chris Raff. Okay. The owner claims that although the proof looks quite credible, he knows that the proof was fake because he's an expert at creating fake evidence. First entry is from 96 and has a blurry picture of the Roottrees Candy Company's factory, seemingly taken by the website's author. It seems that Operation RT29 is real. Okay. Thomas Overwood. Okay, let's search for a couple of these. We have a few different sites about mysterious deaths and curses. The truth about Spirit Cola, which claims that Spirit really stands for Satan's plague is returning in 2000. And then in the year 2000, anyone who has drunk Spirit Cola will die. Another website is Stock Markets and the Devil's Numbers, which claims that if you multiply any stock's price by 666 and also multiply the current year by that same stock's price, then add those two numbers together and divide the entire total by the stock price, and finally subtract the current year, you'll always end up with 666. Okay. Damn it. Okay. Video search for Spirit Cola. All right. So this guy is not connected to anything. What about the Mayan ruby skull? All of these are obvious red herrings, but I'm still going to search for them. It's a symbol of death. It's a blurry photo. Once I also mentioned that the photographer who took the picture died when their boat capsized after crashing into a skull-shaped rock. Amongst the spinning skull gifts, you find no sources of verifiable details. Okay. Well, we got to search for 4-corner simultaneous 4-day time cubes as well. Nothing relevant. Wait, you begin to read the site and come to the conclusion that the words no relevant results isn't a strong enough description for what you're seeing here. It's a massive column of technical terms that aren't real and confusing rants that you can't find any meaning in. Very good. Let's search for Chris Raff 75. Oh. What? What's happening? You find a simple page called The Art of Rafferty, copyright 1997, on Prodigy that lists the author's email address as Chris Raff. Below a bunch of gifts that say under construction, there are a few art pieces. The first is a painting captioned, "Me and my fiancé Lulu," a painting I did for my first year of college that I plan to give her when we get married in May. Go Tartans. There is an odd collage called Cousins, which seems to be made up of 3 scrambled images. The accompanying artist statement says, "We had to create a piece of art about our family. I asked as many of my extended family of cousins for their pictures as I could, even some I've never met. Only a few of them got back to me. My teacher said I wasn't allowed to use pictures of Raina, Riley, or Rose. Raina, Riley, or Rose. So I had to get creative and use only my 3rd cousins. This includes Davy, he swims for Yukon, and Bethany's yearbook picture, she is Davy's younger sister, and Stephanie, who is an only child." Who? All right. So that's a lot of stuff. So, Chris Rafferty, fiance of Lulu, 3rd cousin, cousins to Riley, sisters, 3rd cousin to Davy, a swimmer, Bethany, younger sister of Davy, and Stephanie, only child. And we know Stephanie. So that's kind of cool. Well, this is interesting. Sure. Why does this exist? I feel like this is a puzzle that would be on like a mobile phone video game ad to make it go faster. Dichotomy. Okay. Midas. Middle school. Okay. All right, listen. Sometimes you misclick and someone's torso turns upside down, okay? These things happen. Okay. Cousin school. Cousin sliced. No, not a slide puzzle. No, no, no. My least favorite puzzles of all time. Oh my god, I hate slide puzzles. Please don't do this to me. Please. I hate slide puzzles. No. I'm in hell. Okay, well. Okay. How do I make this go? Let's see. Oh, y'all are gonna watch me struggle with this one for a second, probably. Okay. My brain cannot wrap around slide puzzles. I hate them so much. Thank you, Nikki. I appreciate that. Someone's gotta. Okay, so. Oh, I hate those just as much. I hate any puzzle that's like this. Yeah. I'll absolutely skip this puzzle. Are you kidding me? All day. All day. Okay. So we got our pictures of cousins. Great. So, cousins swim.jpg, I guess. All right. This is Chris Rafferty. This is Chris Rafferty and Lulu. Well, it stands to reason that this is Chris Rafferty. Because that's Clark Rafferty. Hey, Luisa Garcia. Okay. He's a photographer? Do we know what he does? We don't know what he does, do we? It should be illegal to qualify. You're right. Where's the tartans? Oh, wait, he's an artist. He's an artist. Never mind. So we can just put artist, right? There we go. I think we're good there. Then we also have all right, I've already extracted that, so okay, we know Stephanie. So I think this is Stephanie. Is this the same Stephanie? I wish. I don't think this is this Stephanie? It's kind of hard to tell. Okay, but we know these are his second cousins. So if we look at our notes, or his third cousins, sorry. So let's see. How would this work? What is the third cousin? How's the third cousin related to you? I'm gonna actually look that up. I don't really know. They share a great-great-grandparent with you. Okay, so parent, grandparent, great parent, great-great-grandparent. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4 generations down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So it could be a lot of these. Though we do know that Stephanie is an only child. And how many only? There's a lot of only children. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's quite a few only children. But we don't know. Though we do know that Stephanie has an untraditional family, which makes me kind of think this one where she was adopted. But it could also be this one, but no, because she's an only child. I want to go ahead and just guess Stephanie here. I'm gonna put it out there into the world. Oh wait, shit! There's 2 Stephanies. Oh no! Undo. Okay. Well, I still think this is right. This is just a Stephanie. Oh wait, Jones. Right? Shit. Well, I think this is Jones. Don't we already have Patricia Jones somewhere? Or was it a different Patsy? Can't recall. Wish I could search on this. I think there might have been 2 Patsies. Just gonna search in here. I don't see another one though. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's go back here. So this is Davy. He's a swimmer. So is there one that has just 2 siblings? These would be regular cousins. Could whatever this is. I don't understand what this box is. I don't know what this whole thing means. I wish I did. But I think these would be Davy and would be, is there a Davy Morden? No. Okay. Okay. What? All right. Okay. I don't think there's anything else there. Davy, Bethany, Stephanie. Bethany is, we know that Bethany is the yearbook photo. We know, so that means this is Stephanie. It could be a different Stephanie than the other Stephanie we know, because we have two Stephanies. Okay. What about Stephanie Jones? She should be notable, right? If I Google Stephanie Jones. Stephanie Jones, a candidate for city council, won her campaign on election day. The very bare bones website for her campaign. It is simply a picture for a campaign mailer, and underneath it says, be sure to read the full article in the Butler County Times. Okay. Butler County is rotated outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, while the Roottrees Candy Company now has its headquarters in the city. The company began a small farm within the Butler County limits. Okay. A video game called The Roottrees Are Dead was once set in Butler County, and it turns out the creator never lived in or near Butler County or even had any connection to Butler. Okay. All right, so let's search for the Butler County Times, and let's search for Stephanie Jones. Born Stephanie Landon until her marriage to local business owner Brian Jones. Okay. My mother and her partner essentially had an entirely female influence. Okay. Mother Caroline, a local artist who's appeared on the front page of the Butler County Times in the past. They often come out opposed to corporations' policies. Okay. So. I think this might be Stephanie Landon. I think this is Stephanie Landon. And she's a politician. That means this guy, her husband is Jones. Brian Jones. Her mother is Caroline. Caroline, it's got to be Caroline Morden. And she was also an artist. Okay. All right. Without a father, with my mother and her partner. So this is unknown female, unknown male. Okay. We're getting places. We're getting places. Caroline's appeared on the front page of the Butler County Times. So let's search for Caroline Morden. Find a cover story about local art installations, including one by Caroline Morden. There isn't much about Caroline as a person. It's an image of Caroline standing beside a large sculpture, Atlantis' Burden. Society split by indecision over whether women should be equals or something to protect. Okay. She's in her upcoming book, Self-Portrait, Art and the Beauty of Women. Okay. So that's connected to 8 things? How? What? Interesting. How? Okay. Let's go back to the County Times and search for the Roottrees. Okay. We do have... Okay, so one of the flavors, by the way, was elderberry. Oh, boy. Okay. What about Teen? Can I search for Teen Blast? Okay, cool. Offers condolences for the loss of the Roottrees sisters. Okay. Brother Trouble canceled? How to know if he's interested? And Winter Trip to the set of a new movie. Okay. Well. So we just have an extra picture of Raina. So that's fun. Doesn't really add anything, but it's cool that it exists, I guess. Okay. Okay. Tommy Mark. Do we already have him? He's married to Raina. He's together at Penelope's house once a year. Marry Penelope. Ron. Oh, okay. Hold on. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. That's something. Ron, distant Roottrees relative, married Penelope, and created Brother Trouble. Well, let's see about searching for Brother Trouble. Okay. How many Penelopes are there, right? Penelope Tessa Green. Okay, there's only one. What about in Starlet? Show stars, TMS, and DCB played her sons on television. Okay. The retired comedian, result for the Laugh Lounge, a club in Reno, claims Penelope got her stand-up start and first did her famously raunchy breast milk cheese routine before she was a star on Brother. Ew. What? The site claims that she retired for the birth of her first child, but still makes yearly appearances for fundraisers. Little Joko Lantern 97. Okay, mother of Jack. Parents of Jack. This is Jack. Penelope. This also should be Jack. So then let's search for Brother Trouble. Who created it? Ron Roottrees. Okay. Kind of our productions. Kind of coming on using that board stating that Brother Trouble ended up being an ironic name considering the rumors are our productions, Ron and Robbie Roottrees. Whoa. I think it's because the writing went really downhill in season 2. Actually, an episode where Roxy was addicted to sniffing markers. Maybe it's due to the rumor about Robbie Roottrees and Silver Screen Magazine. It did. Okay. Well, it might, though. Okay. Robbie. Small rumors article from 92 that claims that television screenwriter Robbie Roottrees was allegedly tried and convicted under the name Robert. Whew. Seems he, again, allegedly embezzled from the company RR Productions to fuel a gambling habit. Paris, where he grew up. And then Silver Screen continues to insist this is all very much allegedly. The article's author says they were unable to get a statement from French authorities, but received information from an anonymous source. There was a trial involving a Robert Roottrees around the time that Brother Trouble was canceled. So, with all the Hollywood stuff, that kind of makes me think that it's here-ish. I don't know what this box means. It's so annoying. So let's just start taking some notes here. Ron Roottrees and so should be brother of Robert Robbie Roottrees. Okay. Whew. All right. We're making some progress. What else is in this room? Notorious Montjoys? Is that anything? Okay. Well, let's go back to our notes. I gotta cut it off pretty soon here. Did we ever Google this? Okay, we did. Hold on, did we never search for 5 pieces? Nope, candies. Okay. Okay. The history. All right, hold on, wait. By Charles Lee. There we go. All right. It's a miracle, a modern candy for a modern society. Roottrees 5 pieces contain 5 different maple-infused flavors. The Roottrees are a proud family business, and our flavors are inspired by our children. G is for grape, E is for elderberry, C is for cinnamon extract, M is for melon, and introducing M for miracleberry. Miracleberry is a burst of beautiful blossoming blended berries. Try it today. Okay. G, E, C, E, M, and M. So I think this will be Gwendolyn Roottrees. I think it has to be. I agree. I also appreciate that. Because that's the only G name we have left. They're all Roottrees. It's the only G name we have that's also a Roottrees. So it must be. And that means she's the oldest. So in our 5 pieces photo, the original 5 pieces, we're told only the 5 pieces. Oh, I guess Aunt Gwendolyn. Damn. Duh. Shoot. Okay. Well, I feel like this is the oldest looking one. Still don't have this beard guy in the back. I wonder if that's Sam. Yeah, I'm about to head out. Yeah, I'm just putting some stuff here. I think it's going to be Marguerite. Thank you, though. Which makes sense. She looks like her mom. Let's... While I'm here, I'm going to search for... Search for Linus Cornwall. Okay. All right. Nothing there. That's fine. Okay, cool. All right. I think that's it for me tonight. Thank y'all for coming and hanging out. I appreciate you. I gotta go though. I will be back soon. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. And yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. I'll see you all soon. Yeah, that's it. Bye, y'all.